Here are some other benefits of using functions. First is design, and I talked about this, I should put design/organization, and that's chopping up a program into smaller, more manageable pieces and using like a divide and conquer type of item where this function takes care of this function takes care of that. It's very departmentalized. So again, if we have any issues, we know exactly where to go. Legibility, hey, it's easier to read, frankly, one long main. If we broke it up into smaller pieces, we would know exactly where to get to. But also, again, the name of the function helps with legibility as well, very similar to what we had in variables. Coding, I talked about this already. If we know probably where an error is, especially if it's broken up into functions, then we know to kind of where to go and then start fixing things. Instead of having a really long sheet that happens to be in the main, we may not know. So legibility, or coding-wise, it might help us. And again, I talked about reusability. Once I create this function, like I have right here of get average of 3, I'm able to use that function as many times as I want. In this case, I happen to be sending it different parameters, so I'm going to get a new value back each time. But I only had to create the function once, and it's going to work as many times as I needed to. And that's the beauty of using reusability in functions. So the very last questions at the end of our thing here is an exercise, but we'll do it together here. Determine the answer for each of each below. Whew, dyslexia. And I'm talking about the highlighted green parts. So what I wanted to show you is a couple things that we're going to go over more into. So there's a big leap in here. So bear with me. I haven't covered everything yet, so bear with me. You know that get average of 3 is a function because you just saw it here. I went over that, and you see the parentheses that are behind it. You also happen to know that we're going to be passing in values, which I'll go into great detail, bear with me here, into that function. But I think you know what that function's doing because it's literally in the name of it. Get the average of 3, and here is the math for that, which should be real easy for you. It's just adding up the 3 and then dividing it by 3. Okay, that's it. So what's it going to do? Number one, I am using the same function, and by the way, I don't know why there's a space there, but anyway, I'm using the same function 3 times, but I am passing in 3 different values. In answer number 1, if I'm going to pass in 2, 6, and 8, if I were to add them all together, that's 18 divided by 3 is 6. So I am going to do that math like I just did in my head, and the value is going to return that value of 6 to the answer, number 1. Now, by the way, also, and I go over this in great detail either, remember the equal sign? Which side of the equal sign do we always get done first? That's the right-hand side. So notice the function was taken care of first. It translates itself into a value that's returned and places it into answer 1. Same thing happens to answer 2 and 3. Let's see, number 3, the average is going to be 20. And then we ship that back into answer number 3. So notice there's some movement that happens when we are calling functions, working with functions. That's the benefit of functions is instead of dropping the function all in here where it'd be another couple lines here, we just go, pass, takes care of it, and then we can reuse it again.